Hey, welcome back to Drive Time. I am your host, Craig Pasta Jardula, and we do it live, bringing you all the hot takes, headlines, and unfiltered opinions that matter most. Whether you're stuck in traffic, cruising to work, or just chilling at home, we want to hear from you. Today's topics are all about the big stories making waves, but we're not just here to talk at you. We want to hear your thoughts, your experiences, and your take on everything from the latest political debates to the everyday challenges we face. Remember, whether you're on the left, the right, or somewhere in between, we welcome all points of view. So grab that hands-free device, dial us up, and let's dive into the conversation. What's on your mind? It's Drive Time. Call in now. All right, here you are, audience. First sip of coffee for the morning. Here we go. Ready? Oh, that's so good. That is so good.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Sleepy J with that. Good morning. Sleepy, you on your coffee or your Mountain Dew? Where are we at?
Coffee. I'll give it to you after the show.
He's going to let coffee ride through the show and then get the Mountain Dew after. I don't know what you got planned after, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe you have work. Maybe you have a brunch. If you're, out to brunch. We would have already been at brunch now. Good morning, Ty. Good morning, everybody. I know you hear that saying. Guys, every morning we wake up here, there's more and more people who are joining the show. So I can't say thank you enough. And that's on YouTube, on Rumble. It's pretty awesome. Entenmann Bill, I can see you're in the house. Our fabulous producer, Gabrielle Freedom. How you doing, Gabrielle? It's always great to hear.
Speaking of Bill.
Yes.
So looks like Max got detained at Dulles.
Yeah.
Crazy times.
Yeah. I mean, he just got back from Iran, right? So he went to the funeral. He went to Khamenei's funeral. So, of course, they nabbed his ass. So many of us know what that's like. Dan Kovalik, I think, was detained, too. If you don't know who Dan Kovalik is, he's another independent media journalist. He was detained. So they are grabbing people left and right. They just want to shake you down, shake you up. They don't want you traveling ever. And that's something that we've been talking about for quite some time on a lot of shows, is that they do not want you to travel. They want you to stay within your 15-minute city. And that's something we need to push back against. And they can tell when you leave the 15-minute city with what, Josh?
Jack shit.
Flock cameras.
I just want to track and trace your ass.
That's it. They can flock your ass, track and trace you. Well, they don't want you leaving, right? That's the whole thing. They don't want people traveling. That's definitely a thing. And that would be a nice excuse with the gas shortages that are about to come with the closing of the Strait of Hormuz and the bombing of Iran, which, by the way, that shit's just going crazy now.
We'll have gas. We just won't have diesel.
That too.
Because we make plenty of gas here. It's just we don't make diesel. Or we do, but we need different oil for that.
For that, yeah.
You need sour crude for that shit.
There'll be no fertilizer to grow the vegetables, and I think they're going to find excuses to start stripping us away of everything little by little.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it. They've been doing it for a long time.
Definitely doing it with our voice, definitely doing it with our jobs, definitely doing it with everything else.
With our rights.
Our rights, and there's so much shit going on to talk about today. I have this video I'm going to go look for, Sleepy. It is Stephen A. Smith. I don't know if you know who that is.
I know he is.
He's a sportscaster, right? He's got controversial at the time, but it seems like the Democrats are testing him out to see if he can run for president or at least just be a name out there. Really popular guy. They're looking for everything.
They need to find a hero.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. We hear this hero worshiping kind of culture, and I think that goes everywhere, right? Like, I don't know. I think that's the planet now.
I don't think so, man. Like, I mean, other places don't have quite the celebrity culture that we have here.
Yeah, but
there's a couple places, but nothing like here, man. We worship celebrities and influencers, and that's not really a thing abroad.
No. What's up, Katie? What's up, everybody? The Lindsey Graham thing is still kind of fresh in the water, and When Nico House comes along, we'll get his opinion on that.
I'm sure he'll have some things to say.
Yeah, I know. But the Stephen A thing, there's a Stephen A interview where he does a political interview not too long ago. And you could just see how the zombie left and the zombie right, the zombie Democrats and the zombie Republicans, like the conservative movement too, is with all these people who are supporting Donald Trump. It's not even about conservatism anymore. It's just about protecting Trump. It's just tribal mentality, confirmation bias. What up, DC? I'm getting up early now. Our culture is pasteurized. Yes, it is. DC, old school, great guy. Love you, brother. But we'll see. I think it's important because we got to point out the talking points nowadays. And what's up, Michael Imperio? Is he with Ball or the other one? What's the other one?
Moloch or something like that. Who knows?
Ball is the one they sacrificed the children to, so he's probably with them. Probably a bunch of little gay boys that he always used to make up.
I wonder who got his bubble wand.
How do you think that Lindsay died?
I mean, I think he probably died of natural causes. I don't think he died in the U.S. though.
Yeah.
Like just the timing on getting. I think he probably died over there. I mean, it like just the timing on getting back from Kiev would have been tricky. Yeah. So, but I mean, I think he probably died of natural causes. I mean, he was.
You don't think he was assassinated by the state of Russia?
I don't think so.
Either do I. I'm not there. Listen, that doesn't mean I'm not open to it. You know, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but you know, it just seems normal to me. I mean, it's not like he was a young man.
He was fat, old, and out of shape.
Yeah.
You're seriously out of shape. Where are you guys at on fucking Rumble? What's going on? Excuse me for cursing. Only 10 of you guys? 9 of you guys on Rumble? YouTube is kicking your ass this morning. What else is in the headlines? What was I put my YouTube on? What else?
I did not look this morning, unfortunately. I woke up a little too late for
that. I know in antiwar.com, the Saudis, it's been reported that the Saudis have now entered the war full scale with their attention pointed at Yemen.
Oh, yeah, I saw that last night.
The Saudi-Yemen conflict that was once before is now part of this whole thing. So the Saudis are in. And the Saudis are in. The monarch is in for the Israelis.
I guess they want the Houthis to whoop their ass again?
Again. Which would be interesting. You think if they just get tied up for a while over there, that would be enough for the West. They would be happy, the West and our allies, because it would take care of Yemen for a while, and Yemen couldn't help out Israel. And, you know, well, they still could. So we'll see how it goes. This might turn into like one of the Spider-Man's memes where everybody's just firing at everybody, you know what I'm saying, at that time. And they gave the green light to attack the Yemen airport. So that's in Sana'a. So we'll see how that goes. Trump said he's reinstating the blockade against Iran, he said yesterday. So we'll see
shit. Dude, that's a joke. We don't have
to blockade your blockade, Sleepy.
To do what we did back when we were escorting tankers during the Iran-Iraq stuff, like we had a way bigger fleet and a lot more troops. So I don't know how the hell they think they're going to do that with a battle group. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I think it just puts everybody on high alert. So in other words, it's like, well, you can't move your ships through. They'll grab a few. I mean, and the thing about it is that the Americans are psycho enough, with the Israelis are psycho enough, where they won't stop a vessel, board a vessel, that kind of thing. They'll just blow it the fuck up.
Yeah. You know, well, another thing I thought was kind of funny is, remember like a week or two, Marco Rubio was like, they can't close the strait. It's international waters. That's against national law. And then Trump comes out last night. We're gonna take the strait. We're gonna charge tolls. I'm like, oh my god! Like, these people have no consistency.
We're gonna do what they're doing. We put the blockade on your blockade. We're gonna put a toll on your tolls. It's retard presidency, and you know, retard followers at this point. Like, I mean, it's the lowest IQ voter out there right now is following this shit and saying, okay, yeah, sure. But I mean, the social engineers who run this place, they know what they're doing. They know how to pit people against each other. and people are still supporting Donald Trump. I don't think it's anything the way it used to be, and I get happy. I get really cheers the joy when I see him getting booed everywhere. And it's not that I enjoy seeing somebody get belittled. It's just I feel to me that people are waking up a little bit. You know what I'm saying, Sleep? Like people are just waking up.
A lot of people have. I think, unfortunately, it's a lot of people are just absolutely over it now. Just ignoring the shit out of it because they know they're going to have to ride this out for a couple more years.
Flock cameras are all over the internet, which makes me happy that people are fighting back and talking about against them. There's a whole movement to get them taken down. There are people nailing them down. Did you see the JP Sears video on flock cameras? Oh, God. No. Oh, God. Sure can we play a little bit of it? It's hysterical, man. It's not security, man. It's surveillance.
Well, it reminds me of that remember that Ring commercial that came out a while back, and they're like, it's for the puppies. Like it's like the same shit, man. Like,
oh god, dude, I got it right here. Is that you who took down the flock camera from Michelle from 603-5 East Street? Yeah, I know who you are. I've been watching. He's just fucking. Guys, we're going to play a little JP Sears. It is the morning, 561-247-2721. 561-247-2721. I went to sleep earlier last night, and I have a harder time waking up. Does that make sense?
No, that's how I am, too. If I go to sleep too early, like it's like there's like a sweet spot there.
Well, I did not hit that sweet spot yesterday or this morning. As I hit the zombie spot. Here it is, JP Sears. This is the morning show. We're going to have Nico Hassel. I'm going to reach out to him. Watch a little bit about the flock cameras with JP Sears.
This camera has been cut down, completely sprayed over with an American flag on it.
Would everyone please just quit cutting down our flock cameras?
Camera that once stood here is gone. All that's left is this pole across the street. Another one taken down as well.
Why is everyone so outraged about these things? They help protect you. They just cut down another one. It's destruction of property. Yeah, Kevin, I'm talking to you. Last four digits of your social, 7829. Yeah, you. This is getting nuts. People across the country cutting down our flock cameras. You see what the problem is? These lunatics think that our cameras that are surveilling the masses at all times are some kind of mass surveillance network. Hey, Lisa. No, you don't know me, but I know you. I'll be seeing you. Notice you've been shaking a little bit. You been hiding something? You should tell me. Our AI surveillance already knows the answer. Just admit it. As you can see, we're installing more of these things rapidly at all times. We need to get to the point where we have surveillance cameras surveilling our surveillance cameras so we can catch these people cutting down our surveillance cameras. Oh, you're putting your privacy ahead of public safety? That's real mature. Loser. 5 Ocean Drive. Yeah, I know that. People are pissed because they think our flock cameras are used for warrantless spying. Folks are just misinformed. We're not spying. We're surveilling. Warrantless surveilling.
The technology itself has drawn criticism from people concerned about the data they're collecting.
If you're not doing anything wrong, then why are you even concerned about your data being collected? What you got to understand, all our flock cameras are doing is reading license plates and then alert police if that car is associated with a crime. I mean, it's safety. This is for everyone's protection. Just reading some license plates.
Just got a $1,250 ticket in the mail for having my phone on my lap, face down, and both hands on the steering wheel.
Well, what crime was she about to commit with her phone in her lap? Blunt force trauma to my boyfriend's head? Sounds like we saved a life. Look at this, what flock cameras were able to do. A 3-month-old baby was recovered after abduction. The baby was detected with our flock cameras.
What does the community note say about that?
Local community members claim police stated that flock was not necessary for this case, and it appears flock may be paying news agencies for favorable coverage. Well, I wish they never found that baby.
These are flock cameras meant to read license plates and alert police if they're connected to crimes.
See, that's all they do. Read license plates. Nothing more. Have you seen these guys? They were cutting down flock cameras.
Those are people. I thought you said the cameras are just to read license plates.
Well, they are. We can also use them for anything else. These guys look like they're bipedal hominids. Let me know if you see them. Yeah, we're looking for bipedal hominids cutting down our cameras. So just start arresting anybody that fits that description.
What do you think of this?
Leave flock cameras alone. There's no need to label all the flock cameras in your area. And don't put plastic bags over them either, because all that does is cost the company time and money. Grow up. I know that you can use a $50 high-powered blue or green laser like this one to permanently blind flock cameras, but come on, guys. Why? Definitely do not use the camera map on deflock.org to find cameras, approach them from behind on foot with a spray paint extender, and spray them.
Oh, I think that's great. Finally, an ordinary citizen looking out for flock cameras. Everybody should take his advice. Protect your privacy. Yeah, but people are naive. Flock cameras take your data at a local level, and then from there, the federal government can just easily access it. And do you know who's better at protecting your privacy than you? The federal government. They're very powerful, but they can't protect your privacy unless they have it. And we help get that done. Oh yeah, we can see inside people's windows. Heads up on the dog poop right there. So you're doing all the right things. Earlier nights, more walks, better food, but you're still waking up tired. That's
enough of JP Sears for now. Enough. That was fun. What
pretty
do you
good.
think, CP?
It's funny.
Yeah, JP's a cool guy. I met him a couple times. Nico's going to be here shortly. We're just waiting for him to get over here. Guys, we want to do some calls. 561-247-2721. A lot of stuff going on. The bombing of Iran has gone back full scale. The blockade of the blockade. Donald Trump has reinvigorated. I don't know if that's the word. I see a lot of great people in the chat. 27 people over on YouTube. How many we got on Rumble for this morning? Let's take a look. 23. We're already at 50 people. See how that works? You know? We've been using flock cameras around here to make sure that we can, catch up on stuff. Don DeBar, where you at? Come on in. Have a good time. The water is warm. What other news is out there that's worthy of talking about? We talked so much about Bitcoin last night. That shit just got crazy. I know, Josh, you loved that conversation.
Yeah, I fucking loved it, man.
There are so many things on the internet about flock cameras. I mean, it has become a movement.
It's hard to find stuff on it. It's so saturated. That's a good thing.
People on the left, people on the right, both sides. Don, I can't answer. I'm live, Don. Both sides, people kind of pushing back against flock cameras. This is something really good.
It's one of those issues. It's one of those issues that we could definitely work with, all people on.
So the John Kiriakou said that the Zionist regime is actively training U.S. police departments and infiltrating our law enforcement for prepared takeover. He was doing that on TYT. There's a reason why the CAA signed that dude, right? Like people have to question that. Why did John Kiriakou sign with one of the big agencies? The big.
I don't know. I respect the guy. He's.
I do too, as well. But there's a lot of bullshit about him too, as well. That just makes you go,
Yeah. I don't know, man. I've had to talk to him several times, and the last time we did an action,
hands, but and I think he's a cool guy, and
I don't know. Last time we had a action for Assange event, he tackled a dude trying to light himself on fire. So I respect the guy.
Wasn't that dude naked?
Yes.
Whatever happened to that dude? The naked.
I don't know. We couldn't find shit on him after anything, so I don't know. It was weird.
There's that guy Sammy Obib. You know him, the comedian.
Yeah. Oh, he's funny as hell.
He's hysterical. He did a little thing, I think, the other day on Lindsey Graham. Why don't we peek at that real quick? I haven't had a show a lot where we've played a lot of videos, so I don't necessarily feel bad about it because we haven't played a lot of videos, but we do need somebody to call on in. The number's 247 2721. That is a 561 area code. It's 561-247-2721. Here's RIP Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham died. And I know some of you are
Everyone just instantly fucking claps.
for Israel, and occasionally hung out in South Carolina. He was known for laughing like a schoolgirl while also supporting bombing them. I know some people are going to be like, wow, making jokes about the dead. No, I'm not going to mock him because I support LGBTQ. I love my gay friends and family, but Lindsey was a special kind of gay. He was gay for Israel, you know? He was a man who liked
I got a call coming in.
You know what I mean?
All right, hold on. Let me stop it.
Ladybug.
All right, caller. Good morning. Who are you?
Hey,
Where are you
Stacey.
calling from?
Stacy from Houston.
Stacy, what's going on? How was your trip this weekend or last weekend or just the other day? Or
I'm still in the Big A.
you're still What is the Big A for the audience
I'm
and the
still
members
here.
today? Huh?
I'm still here in Austin.
Austin, everybody. It could have been Atlanta. It could have been the Appalachia. It's Austin. How you doing, Stace?
I'm good. How are you doing?
You know, it's a sleepy start today. I'm not gonna lie about that. Usually I'm up, my brain's working. I'm getting ready to move this week, so it's been like a little bit hectic. And I went to sleep nice and early yesterday, thinking that I'd get up, do a nice walk, maybe some Tai Chi. And I just hit the snooze button 6 times, and here I am.
Man, I was calling. Yesterday I was listening to Alex, and I have 2 points today.
Mm-hmm.
Alex seemed to be conflating to me, like a store of value. Money is either usually a store of value or a currency. A currency is, you use it for day-to-day stuff, and store of value is like gold and stuff like that. So he was at one hand saying that Bitcoin was a store of value, and also saying at the other hand that it could be a currency, a proper currency. And those two are rarely the same thing at the same time. I mean, you don't use gold to buy a candy bar,
Yeah.
And that's why it's a store of value. You don't buy a house so that you can buy a candy bar. You use it as a store of value. So he seemed to try to say that it was both of those things at the same time. That's just not happening. So the story I wanted to talk about today is the story about Bernie Sanders. We're talking about AI. Flock cameras and AI are kind of the same thing. I mean, it's all about surveillance and those big data centers. So Bernie Sanders wants to give us half of the profits of AI, but where are the profits? There are no profits. We're getting half. He wants to give us half of nothing, half of negative nothing.
Has he said
Bernie?
this? I'm going to search for this.
Yeah, I saw something about this too, for sure. But yeah, they're not making turning a profit. How the hell are we going to make anything of it?
Yeah.
In fact, we're propping them up, probably.
That's when you're working for free and your boss says he's going to double your pay.
Right.
And I get the joke, boss. It's really funny.
So, the whole thing about with SpaceX, and a lot of people were talking. I have this other thread where, guys who work in the market and they talk back and forth. It's from a fantasy football league. But short story long, they were talking about SpaceX and how it's going to make money. One of the ways in which SpaceX says they're going to drive a profit is mining asteroids, right? Never been fucking done before.
This dude can't even launch a ship big enough to do that without blowing it up. Like, what the fuck?
We're gonna mine asteroids. I mean,
listen, I live in Houston, Texas. Houston to Dallas is a 5-hour nightmare of a drive. Everybody hates that drive. For some reason, it feels like it's 10 hours. They've been telling us since the 80s that we were going to get high-speed rail.
Yeah.
SpaceX, Elon Musk said his boring company was going to dig a hole to Dallas. 10 years ago, I think they were it's like you've never dug a hole from, he's never dug a hole before in his life. And he's going to dig a hole from Houston to Dallas. Come on.
Yeah.
I had a friend, Elon Musk had those batteries, right? I had a friend who back in, it must have been 2008, signed up for one of these batteries, these home batteries. He has this big old house. He converted his whole house to solar in anticipation of this Elon Musk battery. It never came, and they dissolved the wait list and started a new wait list for like the second generation of batteries that never came. I mean, nothing ever happened with this big battery company. It was a pump and dump experience. A lot like, imagine if Bitcoin is just another pump and dump scam. You say it can't be manipulated, but what manipulates the price of Bitcoin is political events in the world. So a war is going to increase the price of Bitcoin. It is manipulatable. And we're seeing Polymarket. We're seeing what the people in government are doing with Polymarket. They're pumping and dumping, and they're making billions of dollars doing it.
Why do you think they didn't get these high-speed rail things done? I mean, California has one where they took all this money and for high-speed rail, and I think they were supposed to build a railroad from Orange County to Vegas. Like, I think that's what it was, or if it was like from Orange County or from San Diego to LA or whatever. I mean, I know they had all these plans to do that. They took all the money and they didn't get it done. But if it seemed like very nefarious, right? That they didn't do it. It wasn't just about taking the money. There's something behind that. I think that like the oligarchs stopped, or something happened with the pressure from the citizenry where they said, fuck this, we don't have to do it anymore. They're getting off our back.
I think sometimes theft has other benefits. Not only are you getting to steal the money, but, maybe more people have to drive and buy more oil. I don't know. I think it's just simple theft. I think they just are taking our money. And I think the government more and more, as we run out of resources, as we run out of tax bases, as we run out, they're just going to keep stealing. They're just going to keep stealing. And I mean, that's what the wars are about. I mean, we're just stealing stuff. That's basically our economy is just based on theft. It's just we're just all stealing from each other. That's capitalism.
But we don't even get a piece of it, right? It goes to the oligarchs. We're still left in a fucking shit where, our generation's not buying homes.
We're the ones getting stolen from. They're stealing from us.
Well, they're also stealing
from us.
From other countries. They're stealing resources from other countries. Resource extraction is a very serious thing. One of the parts of the Fourth Industrial Revolution or the Great Reset. What's up? Kleptocracy now. One of the plans of the Fourth Industrial Revolution is to make sure that you can acquire as much cobalt, lithium, and nickel as possible. So all these other countries that have these things, they want to get friendly governments in there. I mean, it's going on in Peru right now. It's going on in Bolivia. Right. And in those two countries, they're coming in from the outer realms. Thank you, Miss G. Hold on a second.
And what they're stealing from us to get that done is our sons and daughters.
That too. Our tax dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, the budget for the military keeps shooting through the roof.
Our tax dollars don't mean shit against what do they call it? Where
qualified
they pump money into the economy.
Not
qualified immunity, but quantitative easing. Quantitative
easing. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what they call printing money.
Yeah.
They don't really need the taxes. They don't need the taxes. They can just print it, and that's what they've been doing.
And give it to themselves. That devaluates our money because the more they print it, the less ours worth. Gerald Salente said, "Yeah, I was talking about the economy was going to crash, but I didn't know about quantitative easing." That they don't teach you in school, and forget about it.
And that's just more theft. It's just more theft, and it's just the same. Y'all were talking about it yesterday. Or maybe it's like crimping gold was what they were doing in Rome before Rome fell. Then they established gold as the currency, and then people started clipping the gold, pinching it down so that and stealing from the gold from the currency. And that's it's just another horseman of the apocalypse. If it,
Yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely.
y'all have a good morning. It's always good talking to you.
How long are you going to be in Austin for, by the way?
I'm leaving tonight.
All right, back to North Carolina.
Houston. I'm a chick from Houston. Broad from
Keep
Houston.
getting them mixed up. I'm sorry. I know you got a garden, though.
I do.
Stace, thank you so much for calling
I
in
got
and
a
making
couple.
such a fun show. I appreciate it, sweetheart. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
You got it. Stacy from Houston. Out of North Carolina. God, this coffee needs to kick in. I bet you we got callers on hold today because it's just one of those days we're going to have people calling on in. So
we'll know in about 10 seconds.
We'll know in about 10
this one.
seconds.
This one is warning me of a spam caller, so we'll see on this one.
All right, let's see. Hopefully it's not spam. Oh, that doesn't
Hello?
sound like spam.
Oh.
Caller,
Hello,
who
what's
are you?
up?
Where are you calling from? Put the phone symbol up.
I'm working on it.
My name is Don, and I'm calling from Ossining, New York.
Don from Ossining, New York.
Hello.
How are you, Don DeBar?
I'm very well. How about you, bro?
You know what, dude? I'm hanging in there. It's a crazy week. However, we're every day we're growing the numbers on the show. People are calling in. We're having great conversations, good guests, fun times. So I got a lot to be happy about. A little tired today, trying to push through, but yeah, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm in good health, which for me is like everything. When you get to be older, that's always a question, like on a daily basis, practically. So, as long as everything is functioning and nothing's leaking too bad, I'm in good shape.
Yes, any day vertical, right? Any day vertical. I learned that last year. For me, when I was sick, and I never been sick like that before, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Why was my body so inflamed? Inflammation. Talk to the Chinese doctor, he says one thing. Talk to the functional doctor, says another. Talk to the Western doctor, they say one thing. Nico House, jump on in here today. Welcome to the show. I mean, your health is everything. We got a caller. It's Don DeBar. Nico House is here. Don, what did you want to talk about? Did you want to tell us who killed Lindsey Graham, or did he die of natural causes?
Russia.
Actually, no. I hear actually. First of all, apparently the news this morning is that they appointed his sister to fill out the unexpired term until January, and I thought they said her name was Lurleen. Apparently, it's not Lurleen. It's Darlene. But the odd thing being that apparently her flight came in from Sweden. I don't know, like about 10 hours after he left Kiev. So I don't know exactly what that's about. But some people say maybe they look a lot alike around the eyes, and well, anyway.
Are you giving us another conspiracy theory to freaking talk about? Because we're on overdrive on conspiracy theories. We ain't got no room on the shelf for conspiracy. We got too many already.
Listen, he was gay and closeted, right? So if he decided
that's not a conspiracy theory,
trapped in a man's body, that's my pet one for the day. Here's a real thing that's cute though.
Okay.
Yesterday I got a call from Press TV, and they asked me, "Can you be on in an hour or something?" What's it about? We want to talk about the Saudis bombing Yemen, the Sana'a. And I said, "Okay." So I sat down in my seat down, where I'm downstairs, and I said, "Let me see what this is about." I had heard that happened, but I didn't really dig into it. And so I went to Al Arabiya, which is the Saudis, the royal family's website newspaper. And they said Yemen bombed a runway in Sana'a because it was supposedly carrying somebody from Iran or whatever. But in other words, they got Hadi, who was the president for, he's been out of office now for 4 years or something, and he's holed up in Riyadh, and he's there. Apparently, he's the one guy still of Yemen, to the point where when the Saudis bombed the shit out of Yemen, shouldn't be laughing because they're killing people when they do this. But when they bomb the shit out of Yemen, they say that it's Yemen doing it because he's there signing some piece of paper or something. But I didn't realize how blatant some of this stuff really is. As I don't know, I would say as jaded as I am at age 72, that people just that bullshit is that thick. That's basically what I discovered yesterday in that. I knew it was thick, but it's that thick.
Question. All right, was this alleged attack from Saudi on Yemen? Did it happen in Yemen?
Yeah, they bombed Sana'a.
Oh, okay. The only reason I asked is so there's a reason I asked because I don't know if you heard, but Yemen actually made an announcement that if Saudi Arabia doesn't like pull it back a little bit and stop like kind of flexing at them in the midst of this Iran conflict, Yemen said that they were going to attack Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
That's why I was curious.
Yeah. So but what's cute?
And Trump, just to be clear, Don, to be clear, Trump is also giving the green light for Saudi Arabia to bomb Yemen too, as well.
Yes.
So that's out there too.
Yeah. So
which means there's probably a legitimate threat. They probably feel because right now the reality is Yemen, if they went full tilt, they know that with the help of Iran and probably a little bit of China, they could actually attack Russia and win. Because it looks like the United States is not as invested in protecting that region of the world in those Gulf states anymore, in Saudi Arabia and Qatar like they were. So it is very plausible. Yeah. It's very plausible that Saudi Arabia is like, oh shit, we got to be preemptive in this.
Yeah, the problem for them is they can't because they've been using they've had these extended wars. They've stolen all this money, and they're using up a lot of the, they're fighting wars in Ukraine and the whole Middle East, and a lot of anti-aircraft, the missile defenses, air defenses. They're spending.
Don, your phone's getting a little scratchy. Are you using a cordless?
I'm using my laptop with Microsoft Teams.
Well, how is your?
You want me to call in on myself?
Well, your internet must be messed up because you're kind of
getting
getting
out a little
voice
bit,
and cutting out. I listen.
Maybe.
I care and love you so much that I want people to hear everything you have to say, every word, every breath, every sigh.
Lie.
Yeah, you got to call back in. You're sounding like Darth Vader.
Let me call on the other phone. Hang on a second.
All right, call back in.
1 second.
All right.
I'm missing my.
Excuse my tardiness, ladies and gentlemen. While waiting for my man to call back, excuse my tardiness. I'm on dad duty, y'all. My wife damn near broke her fingers.
Understand. You've been so great when it comes to the show, getting here early for the first 7 times. Unlike the, what's not 7 times, but whatever it was, you've been major early every single time. And you told me like you had stuff going on in the morning. You had to get going.
I forgot what day it was. I thought it was Monday, bro. That's what's like. It's been, my wife's job is not easy. Taking care of this house is not, it's not easy, guys. I tell her I appreciate it all the time, but yeah, I had to bathe the babies. And then my oldest decided he wanted to take a shit again right after I bathed him.
Hello?
Done.
That's much better.
Oh, yeah, that's way better.
On.
Yep.
That's 1,000 times better.
I took a giant bite of a bacon sandwich while I was waiting on hold this time. So give me a minute.
Ooh, that sounds
I held
good.
my breath there. When he said I took a giant and he took a breath, I was like, oh, no, Don. Not
No Flitzakaka.
Thank God
No.
bacon came after that. So, no flips and
All right, so listen.
Yes.
I want what I wanted to say about Yemen. You guys might be too young for this. China had a revolution in 1949, and the then government, that was deposed of Chiang Kai-shek, escaped to Taiwan. They called it Formosa at the time, an island like, sort of like Long Island for the United States. And they set up camp there. Well, the Chinese Revolution, Mao Zedong, all those guys set up the government in Beijing and started to run the country from there. And the United States continued to recognize Chiang Kai-shek as the head of government of China, and so did the United Nations, by the way, up until 1971 or 72 or something, when, quote-unquote, Nixon went to China. So, the fiction was, this is what the Chinese president said. So if Chiang Kai-shek was stupid enough to drop some bombs on Nanjing or Beijing or whatever, they would say, China just bombed Nanjing or Beijing. That's what they did with Yemen yesterday. This guy's no more president of Yemen than I am, but the Saudis in English published, in the United States, said Yemen bombed Yemen. That's what I wanted to get across.
Nah,
it's one guy go.
It's the
one
same
guy
way,
go
like,
telling Citgo.
I was going to say it's similar to whenever, like, the Iranian Revolution, right? Whenever the Iranian Revolution overthrew the Pahlavis, and they're like, "Oh, can you believe that these people are attacking the Iranian government?" It's like, no, it looks like the Iranian government is exposed. How do you say that in English? Yeah, expulsing. Yeah, like they're exposing the fake government that y'all installed. That's what it looks like. But I guess you can spin that web however you want to.
Well, Don, let me ask you a question. Don, so you've been paying attention. How is the from what I understand, the United States has been going crazy with their air attack, bombing all different provinces, especially in south coastal Iran. How is Iran's response in this time out? Because there are people out there, in the press that say, well, their navy's on the bottom of the ocean, they're running out of missiles, all that crap that we hear all the time. How is it looking, their retaliation?
Well, the air defenses went off in like 5 U.S. military bases the day before yesterday. Because there was a missile attack that landed in and blew some shit up. And they say we're going to keep doing that, and apparently they have the wherewithal to keep doing that for a good long while. I just say, look, remember the Russians when the Russians quote unquote invaded Ukraine.
Yes.
They were so backwards after the collapse of the Soviet Union and all that their materials were made out of used American washing machine parts and stuff, and they were going to run out of them, in like 2 weeks or whatever. Here we are 3 years later, 3.5 years later, and they're bombing the shit out of whatever they want at will. They're not trying to blow up Ukraine because when the war's over, Ukraine's going to still be there, and they're going to have a relationship with those people who, by the way, speak Russian. It's Russian just like that shit they speak down south is English. It's American English. It's a little different. Y'all come down, well, y'all come back now, you hear? That's English. That's what Ukrainian is to Russian. So, they're brothers. Half of them don't speak Ukrainian, they speak Russian. And so, they're not, but every time they want to, you send some drones here or do this there or whatever, all of a sudden they bomb the shit out of like 3 or 4, munitions factories. Like the fucking, what's his name was in the other day? Graham, if he was in there, that's one group of people, was conspiracy theory, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But the fact is, the plant that he toured was gone a few hours later. They blew the shit out of it with hypersonic missiles that, by the way, our air defenses apparently, reputedly cannot stop. Which means that they want to
say that much.
That
part. Hold on a second. Let me say this much. That part is being refuted. That the Russians, people are saying that the Russians did not produce a list with that particular drone factory. There are people saying yes, they did. No, they didn't. But there are
that they didn't attack that drone factory.
Yeah. That particular drone.
But they didn't destroy it.
But Russia said they attacked that drone factory.
There are people saying
I'm going on news reports. I don't know.
I mean, just for everybody who's curious, I literally talked to Russians yesterday to confirm, to make sure I wasn't crazy. Got to do a hotspot video on this. I'm like, "Are you sure that y'all?" They're like, "Yeah, we attacked it." David sent me a link to RT.
Yeah, I'll ask Roman Kossoyev. Roman Kossoyev at RT. I'll ask him. He's on Facebook.
Double check that.
See what
that's
Yeah.
That's something that's going out there. So many people in our thread yesterday were saying that was not on the list of the ones that were attacked. They attacked other drone factories.
Yeah,
Maybe it wasn't on the list.
Yeah.
But if you just got done attacking, if you got done assassinating a world leader, would you want to? Would you want to
It's on the
have it?
list now.
Maybe they didn't put it on the list on purpose. Is my point. It's like we have to. So we have to presume that this is Putin giving the order. Putin, who, if there, I know that people joke about this 5D chess thing when it comes to Trump, but with Putin, he does play 5D chess. That's probably one of his greatest strengths, and one of the biggest criticisms that people have of him is that he is very much so a 5D chess player. And so if they believe that that factory was safe and Lindsey Graham went, but that doesn't mean Zelensky believed it was safe, because Zelensky, for whatever reason, decided not to join that inspection.
Yeah.
So it's possible that they did it.
This doesn't seem like a thing that the Russians would do, but after the attempt on Vladimir Putin's life, it's more believable, right? It's more
and
believable.
And Lindsey Graham in 2022 said that, hey, y'all should take out Putin. You would be doing the world a favor. He called for it on X, guys.
Yeah. Oh, Lindsey Graham has been a dead Russian's a good Russian. I mean, he's been awful. Best money ever spent. We have the video of him with John McCain in 2016 over there. Before their, and I am using air quotes if you can't see, revolution. You know what I'm saying? Before their overturning of the government. Don, what is your initial thoughts on this altogether? Because I'm still leaning towards, first of all, I think it was vaccine induced. I think the vaccine killed him. That's where I'm at.
That's also a realistic possibility.
It's possible. And it's possible that Russia could have whacked him. I'm not saying I don't believe that just yet. I have a hard time believing that, just because I believe Russia has gone so far out of their way to abide by international law, to try to make some type of a deal with the United States. It's obvious to me that they want to be part of their economy, you know what I'm saying, where people in Russia are now getting frustrated with Vladimir Putin for having a soft hand, which, by the way, I don't know how, I mean, you did make a statement. You said these are their brothers and sisters. And I'm glad that there's a lot of people in here today can enjoy this foreign policy conversation, because this is what we love to do. I don't see how they can end this war without taking Kiev. They're infested with banderites. Yeah. They're not going to stop. I mean, and that's got to be a quagmire. If I'm Vladimir Putin and I know my only way to end this war is to take Kiev, what would that look like? Talking about guerrilla warfare, it would be awful. It would be a nightmare with all these.
Not necessarily. We don't know if that would be if it would be a bloodbath, because Kiev is already willing to be like, look, man, y'all got it. You got people running away from these vans. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to fight this war.
Yeah, but the banderites that would be hiding in the buildings, forget about it.
Bro, Russia has the best special forces in the world.
Yes. But I'm just going to say, I think it would be a bloody fucking terrible time to get it done. I'm sorry, Don. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. Yeah. So here's what I would do. And I would take, something out of the playbook of the characters here. Russia also has, those crack, squads, like like we got, whatever the hell they call them, the Rangers and them guys. I would drop them into the government center. Drop them into the government center with the last elected president of Ukraine, Viktor Yanukovych, and tell them, go on TV there and tell everybody I'm back and things are going to get to normal. We're going to restore peace and quiet and sanity to your lives, et cetera, and you protect that force with whatever it takes. Anything in the ring around that comes in and starts shooting at you, blow it into next fucking year.
So militarily, I agree with the doc, because we just witnessed the United States conduct a mission like that in Venezuela. And if the United States has the competence to conduct a mission like that in Venezuela, absolutely, Russia, who has much more intelligence on Ukraine, has capacity to conduct that mission, probably do it more in a more peaceful manner, right? Especially because it's not like the Venezuelans. The Venezuelans even had Cubans there and they were ready to fight. But the way that the U.S. got it done, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was I won't say minimal casualties, should have been zero, but there's only a few casualties. In a situation like this, we don't know that there will be a shitload of casualties, because the people of Kiev are done fighting. They're like, yo, we may not have wanted to be a part of Russia, but we didn't want this.
Right.
That's interesting. because
Look, we
I
had 3
still
years
don't-
of war. Who wants that shit? Who wants 3
Yeah.
years of war?
Well, the war has
Yeah.
lasted longer than the Great War, and there are people in Russia who are getting frustrated. Vanessa Billy did say on our
Yeah.
show the other day that there's no need for Putin and the Russian Federation to bomb drone making factories that are going to be setting up in Europe, right? Because they're setting up this whole industry, it seems, so they can
Yeah.
keep this Ponzi scam going, and the elites can continue to make more money off death and destruction. She said they can just bomb them as they're coming in. She can knock out the facilities. Putin has been hesitant to knock out a lot of facilities and railroads that bring in goods, but if they knock them out, you know what I'm saying, that could really
because
slow them
Putin.
down.
So you got to think about it from this perspective too. Like the doc said, Putin is remembering Ukraine is going to be part of Russia again, and
yeah.
a lot of those Russians, like I think people kind of forget sometimes. I know one in this situation. They're half of their family lives in Ukraine. They're like a lot of those Russians have they're Russian Ukrainians,
No,
and
I
it's
get
like
it.
Putin has to be cognizant because he doesn't want to end up in a situation like what Netanyahu's in right now, for example, where my son got captured and you're bombing them into oblivion, and now my son's dead. And so Netanyahu is facing backlash from people who would have otherwise supported him, but now they lost their son in a war that he started. Not Putin didn't start this, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't even want to encroach a situation like that if it's avoidable. And so that's what I mean by him playing 5D chess. He does have to make a decisive blow here pretty soon. And the reason why is because I know that he's seeing the upswell of tensions. We're hitting like this climax, if you will, because of the situation that's happening in Venezuela right now, because of everything that's happening in Latin America, because this war is kicked off again between Iran and the United States, and I'm not sure when it'll stop. Strait of Hormuz is closed again. Ukraine and Israel are becoming closer, and that's a little bit problematic. And I'm sure it probably irritates him because we all know that even though Putin doesn't like Netanyahu, Russia has capitulated a lot to Israel. Like, he has to make a decisive blow because he doesn't know where Russia is going to be needed next, and if Russia is going to be prepared for what's coming up next if he doesn't go ahead and take care of this Ukraine problem right now.
So something does have to give. I'll agree on that 1,000%, Nico. This is like there's growing frustration. I know, like people like the generals, like Douglas McGregor and Larry Johnson. They make these kind of jokes. Well, Putin's approval rating's gone from 76% to 71%. And I get that he still has an overall liking from his citizens, but they are starting to grow frustrated. There are lines for gas in Moscow now. The wars have changed. Now it's all about, drone warfare. And in one sense, I think that the Ukrainians actually drove trucks into Russia proper and then released drones out of trucks that went and hit certain specific sites where it makes it almost impossible to stop. So at the end of the day, I've said this before. Mark Sloboda said this before back in the days when we first had him on. They're going to have to take Kiev. Until they take Kiev, this war is not going to end. At least that's I don't see that, Don. Do you see that happening? Did we lose him?
Maybe.
All right.
Well, I agree with you,
Bar, ladies and gentlemen.
I agree with you, Pasta. And it's even getting rid of Zelensky doesn't do the job because they can just put another puppet. Like, you got to take Kiev, and like the reality is Kiev.
You got to remove that whole fucking stinking fucking government that they put in there with the Banderites and all the assholes and shit. Well, dude, how could it be Nazis, Nico, when Zelensky's Jewish, man?
Yeah, damn that. Yeah, okay. We've never seen a Jewish Nazi before. I'm pretty sure we all are familiar with Bibi Netanyahu. Like, we never seen a Jewish Nazi before. Actually, that's actually a very common theme in Argentina. A lot of the Nazis, they converted to Judaism conveniently when they moved to Argentina. So yeah, that's the thing. So I don't care about Jews work with Nazis all the time. Hitler worked with the Zionists, right? So let's be clear, that is not important at all. So, but yeah, no, you got to take Kiev. You got to take that part of Ukraine. You have to. It's not ideal, right? You don't want to feel like you're encroaching on someone else's sovereignty. But the reality is, for the protection of your country deserves the safety They deserve to feel safe. They deserve to know that the people on their border are not going to try to attack them, especially when you know your country has the power to stop it, right? That's what the big deal is. It's not like they're growing frustrated, not because like it's a war of attrition and because it's like a struggle. It's like, no, if it was a genuine struggle, maybe we wouldn't be stressing. But we could end this right now.
Yeah.
And it's not being
We
done.
got another call coming in.
Awesome.
Caller, who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hold on, my name is Daniel, and I'm a long-haul truck driver. Right today, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
What's up, Daniel?
What's up,
How
Daniel?
you
Can you
doing,
hear me?
brother? Thanks for calling in. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, I call in and they complain about the noise in my truck because we're not built like a fancy automobile, so you hear everything like this.
You sound fine.
We love it. We love it.
Okay.
It's drive time. You're driving. You might be the
I'm
first
work
caller.
time.
You might
You're
be the
actually
first
driving.
drive time caller driving. So I don't know. I think we've had a couple. No, we've had a couple. Michael Imperios has been driving, but still, nonetheless, what do you got for us, Daniel?
Yeah, I know this is old, but this is the time I got really angry at Nico when he was complaining about China's response to Syria falling to the head chopper.
To Syria?
Yeah, so you were complaining about where's China? What's China's role in all this? And long story short, I was like, my view of China is partially with the view of how bad communists they are. I always say the Laowai, if you ever heard of that channel, Laowai and Serpenza ZA, they rode their motorcycles across China. I take more of their point of view. And after listening to Professor Chang and his stuff, they're with China, for better or for worse.
Who,
Oh,
Syria?
Not with China.
Are you sure that was
Israel.
me?
I mean
'Cause
Israel.
I'm pretty sure I've maintained a pretty consistent, like China's interests are with China.
He said
I'm pretty sure I
something
made.
about Israel.
Yeah. Maybe that was you, but maybe that wasn't you. I'm sorry for accusing you of something you didn't do.
Yeah, I've pretty much maintained consistently
Daniel,
since COVID
If we
that
can be
China's
mad
in-
at Nico, we should take advantage of a chance to be mad at Nico. And I get a chance to be mad at Nico. I fucking relish in it. I'm like, Nico, that son of a bitch, I love him, but he's so wrong on this. So don't walk away from being mad at Nico.
How often have you ever gotten to say that? What?
You know what I'm saying?
Like never.
But wait a second, Daniel. What is your position when it comes to China and Syria? Do you think that when they put Giuliani in, when the West and Israel installed Giuliani and pretty much Vladimir Putin and Russia walked away? I got to tell you something. Seeing Giuliani in the Kremlin shaking hands with Putin, that hurt me a little inside.
That
I was
irritated me.
really upset by that.
Yeah.
But if you want to give us your position on what you think China did or did not do properly when it came to Syria, explain to the audience.
Okay, so this is not what China did or did not do. This is China's point of view, at least my opinion of China's point of view. China's point of view consists of trying to keep its population fed, non-revolutionary. So their job, if you're in Xi's place, your job is to make sure there's plenty of food coming in through imports, and everyone has a job. So, yes, you support these smaller governments because you get a better deal with resources like Iran and stuff, but China's position is to be China. So, their job is to make sure that is their main course, make sure everyone has a job, make sure everyone has food, and to keep the population from basically making another revolution. Because China, these are the people, or at least the descendants of the people who came from that revolution. They understand, hey, we don't want to be out of power. And that is China's main position. Now, your last caller was complaining about Putin's point in the war and stuff like that. And I like to tie that in from what your last caller was talking about, that's okay.
Yeah.
No, of course.
Go ahead, Titan,
All right,
I'll come back and I'll give you my opinion on China in a second.
Okay,
And, go
so
ahead.
right now they know they are at war with the United States, but at the same time, China knows that their paycheck comes from the United States. About, yeah, they're going to want to beef up their fleet. They're going to want to control the area around their area, but their main goal is not to go to war with the United States, because they remember what happened during World War II, when an Asian power attacked the United States and ended up becoming their, dog on a leash. I refuse to use the word vassal.
They became a proxy. They became a proxy after the U.S. bombed them.
Yeah, and so Putin understands this too. So when I look at Putin, so why is Putin not giving much more of a fight? I really think that these two players do not want to create another Pearl Harbor. They don't. They don't want to create another Pearl Harbor. They can't. They're going to win at the end, but do you want to win with your cities in ruins like Gaza, or do you want to win with your population slightly reduced, but your cities are still built up and you still have a manufacturing base? Like, how do you want to win? And I think Putin's, or at least these two people's goal, is to defeat the United States. And how do you do that? You don't defeat the United States on the battlefield. You defeat them in the long run by letting them do what they want to do, making it harder for them to supply arms to your enemies, and basically just wear them down little by little to where they have no choice but to surrender to you. And I think when that happens, America is going to be too busy with its own internal problems to do anything about foreign stuff.
Nico, you want to tackle that first?
Yeah. So, please. I mean, I'm in agreement. I think that, and this is actually something different. This is a little bit of a different mindset and policy than Iran has. They have a revolutionary mindset where they're willing to extend and help countries and put themselves on the line, even if it means sacrificing some of their own. Russia and China are different. They will help you to the degree that obviously it helps them. They try to do the right thing for the most part. However, if doing the right thing means putting Chinese lives or Russian lives at great risk, they won't do it. And and not just at great risk as far as getting into war. I'm talking about if it means that there's less food on their plate, if that means that there's less homeowners, if it, you know what I'm saying, like things like that. That's one of the reasons it took Russia so long to get into this war with Ukraine. Ukraine had been pushing for a long time, right? So, I mean, they still try to refer to Crimea as occupied Crimea, as if Crimea didn't vote like to the tune of like 98% or something crazy like that to be part of Russia. It wasn't like some random, you know what I'm saying? Like even that situation, Ukraine and Russia, or excuse me, Ukraine and the United States were pushing Russia, and they still did not attack them. So, and it's because at the end of the day, Russia and China, they value the lives of their citizens in a way that we don't really see the United States or the West value the lives of their citizens. The West is more than willing to have another World War pop off, another Pearl Harbor pop off, another atomic bomb drop. They're more than willing to have that. Whereas Russia and China are a little bit more judicious in how they go about their political game theory, if you will, because they know once you open Pandora's box, there is no going back, even if you've won.
I do want to say this much too as well, and Daniel will give you time to respond. That just pointing out, I know there's a lot of ideologues out there that love China and they love Russia and what they stand for, the way they do things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, their citizens get health care. I mean, small business ownership in China is way bigger than it is in the United States. Home ownership is bigger than it is in the United States. They've eradicated extreme poverty. Obviously, and you had mentioned, Daniel, in the beginning of your call, the way China treats its citizens because they don't want a revolution over there. It's a nation that's been conquered before. So there seems to be some ebb and flow with the citizens and the government itself. I just like to say that the government itself, though, is not the Boy Scouts. And this is specifically when we're talking about China. China still does business with Israel right now on a regular basis, economically. China has sold drones to the UAE, to Saudi Arabia, which have been used to kill Houthis in the past. So I think at the end of the day that we have to understand that these countries know they want to be plugged in economically with the United States and, with the world economies. Russia would like to sell its energy if it doesn't continue to get bombed by drones from Ukraine right now at this moment. But they'd like to get back to business and sell their energy for their oil exports to people around the globe, including
in Europe,
the UAE and, to the EU, back to Europeans. I know they don't want this war with the Europeans. They'd rather sell them the energy. And China wants to do business everywhere. The thing about the United States is that the United States doesn't just buy products from China. They pay the highest price for the products from China. So there is a desire, and it seems that as China gets on the world stage and complains about what Israel's doing, they still have no problem in refunding the reconstruction of what's going on in Gaza and the West Bank. They're still the main supplier. So if they were really serious,
not the main supplier, That's the U.S.
Yeah,
it's the U.S.
Well, for weapons, right?
No, I mean the U.S. is giving them the money. The
money and the weapons, but the reconstruction part, all the things to rebuild are coming from China. China's making a ton of loot on that stuff. As they blow up buildings, China's there to help them re-put stuff up, and a lot of materials are coming from China. So I do have I try to have an even-keeled mindset when it comes to China. I don't praise them. I don't have a Xi Jinping tattoo. I don't have a Vladimir Putin T-shirt. I'm not an ideologue. I do think that those societies act a lot better, and I would rather the United States act like China and Russia, where they don't have tons of bases all over the globe. They got a few here and there. I think China's got one in Djibouti. But I mean, at the end of the day, we also have to remember that they'll do what they have to do. The stories, the stories of an economic hitman. There's some shady shit going on with China and Africa, the way they're doing some business.
Yeah.
So I just try to keep an open mind to what's going on. And I'll give you the last 60 seconds, Daniel. After Nico makes a comment. Go ahead, Nico.
I was just going to say that I can almost respect Russia and China for the fact that if they do whatever they do, positive or shady, it's for the benefit of their own people. And there's tangible benefits to what they have done. And I also have respect for the people of those nations as well, right? And because they're not even as arrogant as you would think they would be for the amount of success, revolutions that they fought. Because what we're seeing in both Russia and China is a direct result of the people.
Hey,
right?
I hear you. Hey, say something, Pasta.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Oh, I'm here too.
Hold on. I lost sound for some reason, guys. I can hear the caller.
Yeah.
I can hear you guys. Hold on a second.
Okay. But yeah, so I just want to say I have respect for it because at least
all right, try that
they're
again,
getting some bang for their buck. But at the end of the day,
I gotta come
the
back
United
out,
States,
guys.
we're heavily
Stay
involved.
on the line.
Yeah, we're heavily involved in the rest of the world, and the people are actually go ahead. Oh,
good, John.
But so we're heavily involved in the rest of the world, but then the people are being screwed. They're not even benefiting from the amount of intervention the United States participates in. It's ridiculous. So at the end of the day, at least I can respect China and Russia for doing what's in their best interest because the world is not black and white as much as we would like it to be. There is no good. Well, there is definitely some evil, but there is no Superman coming to save us. It's just self-interest at the end of the day.
Daniel, we lose him?
I think he did. I think we lost when we lost Josh.
Sleepy's not there either? Yeah. Well.
Yeah. And Daniel! Great call, man.
I'm sure, Josh, you're off.
No,
you're
Josh.
off to the side. Sleepy, are you there?
Just got back.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, my StreamYard decided to switch the audio. The caller's still on. Can you hear him?
All right. Daniel,
say something, caller.
Can you hear me?
Did you hear everything? I'm going to give you the last
I'm here. I'm driving on 285.
He missed about a minute, so he missed a lot of what Nico was saying.
Oh, I was just saying that I just have respect for China and Russia because at least what they do is for their people, whereas the United States intervention actually hurt its own people, and yet they cease to stop.
It's true.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Daniel. It's on you, man. Close us out.
Yeah. No. I was thinking of Professor Chang's theory of Greater Israel, and after listening to several other sources, I'm more into believing that it's not just a possibility; it's going to happen. Maybe not in the same size as they wanted to, all the way to Euphrates, but at least to the Iraqi border, in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at that, what's the goal? It's the defeat of the United States. They want to defeat the United States. And what do? Well, you close our factories. You make our people homeless. You get rid of the infrastructure that helped us. I know help us win World War II or defeat Japan and stuff like that. So, yeah, when I see the gold is there, and I know Iran's not going to be able to defeat. I know I hear constantly, oh, Israel's losing and stuff like that. I don't believe it because, one, they're still around, and two, they're not creating an army.
Well, that's the thing. All Iran has to do is survive to win.
I do believe Israel's losing. And I don't believe that Israel will. So I don't believe that Israel will actually exist in its current form in the next 10 to 15 years. However, the expansion of the Greater Israel Project is not necessarily reliant on that fact, right? Like they don't have to be what they are right now for them to continue to expand because they're setting up roots in other countries to make sure that they will always be able to kind of like dip in, dip out, and expand up into Iraq, like you said, because I think that that's a possibility as well. I agree because of the way that the borders and things like that are set up. However,
I gotta say,
go ahead.
I do lean a little bit into what Daniel's saying when in the fact that he doesn't believe that they're losing. You know, people have to define what losing is. And Sleepy just said, right, like all they have to do is survive Iran. That's all they have to do. But I think there's so much distraction going on with the Strait of Hormuz, the United States bombing Iran, that what Israel is doing in southern Lebanon, getting up to the Litani River over there, bombing villages and whatnot, occupying territory over there, even if they come to some deal and stop, they're going to have increased their territory so much, right? I mean, because at the end of the day, if the goal is the Greater Israel Project, they're going to increase their territory by a significant amount, right? And my biggest fear with the MOU, when the United States and Iran was cutting a deal, is what is Israel going to be able to do and what are they not going to be able to do? I was very happy that it was listed that they have to stop and the United States has to stop them. Even though it didn't happen, I was very happy that Iran was paying attention to what Israel is doing over there. And I was really hoping from a lot more from Hezbollah, right, to push Israel back out of Lebanon.
I mean, from what I hear, Hezbollah is busting their ass.
But they're still up in they're still taking territory in South Lebanon, so that's the big problem right now, right? They're
I know. So this is like disputed because I thought that they were taking territory in South Lebanon, right? And then I had someone on who was like, no, they're entering into South Lebanon because Israel always tries to, but like Hezbollah is actually busting their ass and they're not able to continue going up. And out of this frustration is why Israel is constantly bombing Beirut, because like they're not able to gain way they're not making any gains in South Lebanon and nothing significant because Hezbollah has actually been able to handle them the drone warfare, which is also why Netanyahu came out with that random ass announcement. Ukraine is going to help us deal with this because the IDF for the first time is actually having to deal with the Hezbollah who is equally equipped to fight a war and defend their country as Israel is. And Israel's not been handling it well.
I mean, they've lost a shitload of tanks, dude.
Yeah.
Like, shitload of tanks.
Who?
Yeah.
Israel
has, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I thought the same thing as you until somebody corrected me.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, we just got to wait and see. I listen, I hope they get pushed out. Daniel, thank you so much for calling. I do appreciate it, man.
You the man,
I
Dan.
do, and I'm just wondering that was someone was hearing me talk about China correctly, and so they turned off the they disconnected the audio and made some havoc for us. So that's my conspiracy theory.
It's Kevin. Fucking Kevin.
All right, you have a good day.
Have a good
Kyle.
one.
You too, man.
Not Kevin, it's Kyle.
No, Kevin was our resident CIA guy that monitored our chats and
No, it was Kyle. I'm telling you.
No, it was Kevin, dude.
One of Kyle's all the time.
It was Kevin, man. I'm telling you.
It was Kyle.
Kyle,
It was Kyle
Kevin.
for us. Okay.
I don't know,
All right,
man.
Ben,
You're
another
kind of
question.
bad with names, possibly. You got the same problem I got. Like you like. If I asked you like my oldest son's name right now, I think that you would probably forget. You probably already forgotten. So
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Caller, where you calling from?
Josh saved me.
Kyle Kevinstein.
What in the hell? Hold on.
That's funny.
Caller, who are you? Where are you calling from?
Oh, let's try that
What?
again.
Caller, who are you? Where are you calling from?
All right, let me reopen this browser. It's being stupid.
Sleepy.
Good old Chrome.
You on Brave?
No, I'm using Chromium. I'm in Linux.
Was your boy Kyle on Jimmy Dore with Misty yesterday?
Hey, caller, you're on the air.
Matt, was it?
Woohoo! Yona Ani Wody back in the spot with my homies Pasta and Nico. How y'all doing today?
What's up, Yona?
Chilling like a villain, ill on penicillin, man. How are you doing?
You know, it's another day in what Gerald Celente calls Slavelandia. I just called in to drop some facts on Yemen and southern Lebanon, as they say. First thing on Yemen, like where Nico was pointing out, like they were trying to say that Yemen bombed Yemen. I just wanted to provide a real brief historical context that, you know, when British Empire first started fighting France over Egypt, because the French had Ferdinand de Lesseps digging out the Suez Canal for the first time, which opened up that naval shipping route, you know, from Mediterranean right up into the Red Sea and out to Indian Ocean. And of course, England at that time, we're talking about the 1700s, 18th century. They had the British Mandate going on in India. And so they first landed up in Aden, or Aden, 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 which is the southern part of Yemen. The British landed up in there in 1799 or something, and started making moves on the island of Socotra, which is right off the coast of Aden, and
Socotra.
Aden in southern Yemen. And then finally, by I think 1830 something, the British had a permanent like coaling and refueling station in Aden. So, you know, England has driven this wedge into Yemen for, you know, we're going on like over 200 years, you know what I'm saying? And then finally, when the Ottoman Empire was taken down during World War I, so we're talking like 1914, England split up the Middle East with Ottoman's empire, and England drove this boundary line through the middle of Yemen. It's called the Violet Line. And that's what created this whole South Yemen, North Yemen thing between Sana'a and Aden. And so, you know, what happened the other day with the bombing of the international airport at Sana'a, when delegation was trying to land coming back from the funeral of the Ayatollah in Iran, you know, that so-called recognized government in South Yemen, in Aden, that's been like a British capital of the Southern Arabian Peninsula for, you know, over 200 years. And so, yeah, it's some Juan Guaido type stuff. That's all I was going to say about Yemen, really, you know, because we already know what's going on in Sana'a and Hodeidah with the Ansar Allah, also known as the Houthis, because most recently Trump was bombing Yemen, and I remember there was some aircraft carriers doing, you know, crazy eights, and like fighter jets were sliding off the flight decks, and I mean, they ended up leaving like Yemen won.
Yeah, they got their asses
we
whooped.
withdrew. We quit bombing Yemen.
Yeah, they got their
Right?
asses whooped properly. Is what happened actually. Yeah, I
And
remember.
by the way, I just want to say
Yeah.
at one point in Yona, so what Yona's talking about, there is some historical context. What's talking on? At one point, Yemen was the only communist country in the Middle East, right?
Mm.
That's right.
North Yemen, South Yemen. I believe South Yemen was the People's Republic of Yemen at one point, and it was like
That's correct.
1967. So yeah, I mean it, but I do want to say
All the way up until about 1990. You're correct, Pasta.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
the only communist country in the Middle East.
in that
Yes,
region,
sir.
in that region. But I do want to say this much: there is, and I'm so glad you brought the historical context to the show today, Yona. There is a history of North and South Yemen and fighting and disagreements. But I think a lot of what's going on today is still fueled by the modern era of the way the South is supportive of Saudi Arabia and the way the North and Ansarallah and the Houthis are saying, fuck you, that you're going to do that. So I do think there's a lot of tension today on, and people are split, even though there is historical context which Yona brought to the table. So I just want to point that out.
Of course. And of course, that goes back to the British and Lawrence of Arabia propping up the Wahhabists into power in Saudi Arabia. And again, it was Britain that propped up and carved out this South Yemen and drove a wedge through the middle of Yemeni territory known as the Violet Line. That line was drawn, like I say, I think around 1914 or so. And so then there was a huge pushback against Britain, which led to the formation of that communist government that you pointed out, Pasta, back in the late 1960s. And it wasn't until 1990 that Yemen finally reunified. But since then, you know, the British-backed Saudi government and the British-backed loyalists in South Yemen have helped, again, you know, split Yemen apart. And in fact, that island of Socotra that I mentioned, that's got the really weird-looking trees and all kinds of.
We're going to
if you
talk
look at
about
pictures of
Socotra.
Socotra, it looks like something from Star Wars.
Yona, I know what you're talking about.
S-O-C-O.
We're going to talk about Socotra because Socotra's there's
It's
a lot of
occupied by UAE now.
Yes, no, but the Israelis have a base there. They have a landing strip at Socotra. Yeah. And Yemen was complaining that UAE was allowing Israel to give out what do you call them when you're allowed to travel there? Visas of sorts to go to Socotra and set up shop there. Socotra is strategically located in the waterways too as well. It's a maritime strategic land. And there's indigenous people to Socotra that have been there forever. It's very unique with their nature and whatnot, which Yona was talking about the trees. But there's been a lot of discrepancies going on with Socotra for quite some time. The UAE is up in there with Israel now. Yes, go ahead. Continue, Yona. Did we lose him?
We lose him? Yeah.
I think we lost him.
Did we lose Sleepy? Yeah, we lost Sleepy. He'll be back. So Star Wars, Coulter. Star Wars, Coulter. Actually, I'm looking at this place right now.
Josh,
What?
we lost Sleepy again.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We lost Sleepy. He's probably gonna pop back in. Yo, this place looks crazy.
Yes, you can share it on the screen if you want.
Okay, hold on, let me
Coach is
pull it
very
up.
interesting, and you see where it's located. If you have it, you can pull it up. I can help you share it.
Yeah, I got you.
So Coach is located like south of Yemen. Here he is, Sleepy. Now we got the fucking drilling outside.
We can't hear it.
Oh, I can hear it, and it's driving me fucking nuts. Yona.
I sent the link. I sent the link of a picture.
Hey, it's Kevin from Rockaway. I lost my internet, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Right now they're doing drilling right outside my door. Can you guys hear it?
No, we can't hear it.
I can't.
My head is buzzing
Really?
right now. And I moved this Thursday, so it's kind of cool. I have the highest speed internet that you can have in the development, and it's a house. And
Congratulations, man.
yeah.
All right, we got Kevin from Rockaway on.
We lost Yona, but we got the Professor Kevin. Kevin, what do you got for us?
Let me make sure.
This is Kevin from a bunker under Langley, Virginia. Rockaway. Yeah, exactly. I'm from Rockaway. I don't work for any, agencies that begin with a C and end with an A. How's it going, guys?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Okay, good. Yeah, he can hear.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Nico,
Right.
Kevin, I'll be right back. I'm gonna just step down real quick and it's so fucking loud here, guys. It's driving me crazy. Please, I'm gonna listen as best I can, but I'll be right back. I'm gonna ask these guys to pause for 20 more minutes. So please continue,
Sure.
Kevin.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kevin. Drop it on.
The first thing I just wanted to say. You can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The first thing I wanted to say was just I wanted to make a correction or a retraction about something I said yesterday about Lindsey Graham, who it doesn't change my feelings towards him, but I assumed he was a little bit older. Apparently, he was born in '55, which would have made him
71.
20 and 75, right? So
Hold on, 75? I thought he was 71.
Yeah, I thought it was 71.
Well, according to Wikipedia, it was
what?
No, 1975. 1970. He was born in 1955. Is what I'm saying.
There you go.
He had been born in 1955. And anyway, I was saying that he was a chicken hawk for not being of fighting age for Vietnam, which I just assumed he was older. It turns out that he was he was an Air Force. He later after college or something became an Air Force lawyer. He was a
JAG,
the Uniform Code of Military. And he kind of always used that as his, I'm the authority on what's a legal war and all this. And, it doesn't change my opinion, but I compared him to Cheney and Trump. And, I was wrong on that point. So, it's a lesson, for all of us out there, is that, we never take anything just at face value.
Man, two things could be true. I don't know. Did he join the Air Force while Vietnam was still going on?
No.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, he could have somehow. Go ahead.
He was a courtroom. He was like Tom Cruise in.
No, it's JAG. I know. I used to work in JAG.
Yeah. He was that kind of guy. But you know what it is I've been in the military, and I know Pasta was too, and it's especially prevalent in the Army. There's one thing I just appreciate about Marines. They do a lot of things well, and one thing is they just look at Marines like, if you're a Marine, you're a Marine. That's it. I don't know if it's the same in the Navy but in the Army, they play these games with you. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you're a soldier, but were you overseas? And if you were overseas, were you overseas in theater? And if you were in theater, were you in the rear echelon, or were you it's a constant pat on the back, but also slap in the back of the head, unless you were, a super front line. It's a good way to mess with your head. And I just, the guy,
I used to get shit for. So I used to I want to speak to your point. I was a JAG. I was in JAG. So I used to get shit because I never had duty. I never had to pull duty because I have to be at work the next day because legal shit doesn't just stop because I don't show up to work. Right. So it was like I was one of the few people were like, oh man, I can't believe like I used to get shit for all. I'm like, well, my bad. I didn't even know that whenever I decided to do this job. But nah, it is like that. The Army is very cliquey and they like to group you into they like to base your value on these very arbitrary metrics. And it's like there are people who have deployed, right? And they pretend like they did way more than they did, right? And then there are people who have deployed and are very humble about what they've experienced because what they've experienced is very traumatic and they don't even like to talk about it. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think part of the reason they let that, I mean, obviously the Army is, at least 3 times the size of the Marine Corps or, 4 times, whatever. I mean, the Army is basically every job in civilian life they have in the Army, so, there's a lot of like a spirit de corps, and it's, the air cav against the airborne and the, it's supposed to be meant in a way to improve morale, but it turns into something else. You know what I mean? Like, but
even the 82nd,
really like
bro, 82nd Airborne they used to shit on 18th Airborne Corps all the time in Bradley. There was a huge thing.
Absolutely, yeah. My nephew's actually over there right now, in that around that section of the world, and he speaks fluent Mandarin, by the way. And I wanted to just say a few words about like the Chinese, who I've been very, very critical of, but it seems like they do capitalism better than we do. Like they went from like some would say criminally communist to criminally capitalist overnight, and they've melded the two almost perfectly. And there's a total difference, like with the American psyche. I mean, look, we know we're one of the most propagandized nations on the world. I mean, we think we live in a democracy. We don't. Like we don't. Our 2 best choices in a country of 330 plus million people, the cream of the crop was Donald Trump or Kamala Harris.
Isn't that crazy? When you put it like that, when you put it like 320 million people, and that was our choice. That's what our choices boiled down to.
Right. That was the cream. Those are the top 2. That's your choice. Coke or Pepsi, Burger King or McDonald's. But the Chinese psyche, like I was saying, like my nephew who speaks fluent Mandarin, and also, one of them is kind of like, in the United States, the pathos, right, is like, I want to be seen, I want to be noticed, I want to be heard. It's like the opposite. It's like if the government told you personally, like, no, we see you, we know who you are, you'd be like, oh shit, I got, like, to the family, like, we got to get out of here,
Yeah. Now that's very true. If the government say, hey man, we do see you. Hold on, I didn't mean by y'all. I didn't mean by y'all.
Yeah.
But you're correct. Yeah,
we're on the next plane to New York, but and it's also just the way. I mean, it's a millennial. It's just like Iran. It's millennia old, multi-millennia old civilization, and the people just go with it. I mean, they go with the flow. They keep their head down and they go with the flow, and family is.
You feel like that's millennials do that?
And,
I feel like that's like so being a millennial, I'm the millennial that falls in I fall in between. Then there's like the older millennials they're early 40s right now, and then there's like some in their early 30s. So I'm in between. So I kind of get to witness both. And I feel like the millennials are actually
I'm sorry. No,
talking about Gen X?
I meant thousands of year old culture.
Oh, you're talking about the Gen X or Gen Z?
No, he was saying the millennia age cultures.
Understood. Gotcha.
I don't know what that, Yeah. There, I mean, because I mean, Norman Finkelstein has said, he was at one time, he was a hardcore Maoist, and he's often corrected. A lot of people said that, the communist parties and the real, that existed in the United States, it was Khrushchev's secret speech, that really put really changed everybody's mind. And according to Finkelstein, he said it really wasn't. He said it was, for the Maoists, it was when the Gang of Four was arrested, and how they thought that they were creating this socialist utopia, and it was overnight it just changed. There was no blowback from the population. You know what I mean? They were just okay, this is what we're doing now. This is what we're doing now. I mean, they had merciless dynasties for thousands of years. You know what I mean? If you're a normal person, you do what normal people do, is just try to put food on the table, And the last thing I just wanted to say with, in regards to Ukraine and Russia is, I think Russia would have stopped by now. I think it's just that Ukraine is artificially being basically they're getting juiced, by the West. It's almost like if you're a boxing fan, back in the 70s, there was a boxer named Aaron Pryor, who they found out, in between rounds in his water, they were putting cocaine, he just kept punching back. And if the only reason, my view is similar to Mearsheimer's. I take him, I really appreciate, because I've heard him say it since 2015, 2016, that everything he said was going on came to pass. To me, the Russian mentality with Ukraine was, they don't necessarily want the whole country. They want that eastern part of the country that's mainly Russian speaking, that identifies as Russian, and what they want to do with the rest is just wreck it, which they've pretty much done. It's just that they're not able. If they walk out now, they can't even say they won. You know what I mean? Because
that's a false statement. That's a false statement. They didn't even want the Russian-speaking part in the East. They felt obligated to take it. Putin had so much pressure. The Communist Party of Russia was the only ones really funding the people in the Donbass as far as weaponizing them and being able so they can fight for themselves. And there were people inside Russia that were really upset that Putin had dragged his feet. Minsk 1, Minsk 2, they desperately tried to keep Ukraine whole. And Vladimir Putin and the Russian I don't want to say the Russian Empire, the Russian, the government,
the Kremlin, yeah,
whatever. They wanted to. I forgot the name of their body, the ruling body. It's not a parliament. It's called something. Is it a Duma?
Oh, the legislature.
The Duma.
Yeah, okay.
The Duma.
So
the Duma.
They wanted Ukraine to stay whole, and they wanted that Eastern Bloc to stay whole because they believed that they would vote in friendly Russian governments there, and it would be balanced. So it really wasn't until a ton of pressure, and people thought that Putin and the Russian Federation were dragging their feet and not getting involved as their slave. And they don't want to wreck the country. They want to keep it whole. They didn't hit energy infrastructure for quite some time. The bombing of the trains where the drones come in from the country it's very controversial because he doesn't want to also cut off, their access to trade and whatnot via trains. So he's been hesitant to bomb them. So he doesn't even want to wreck the country. He's trying to keep it whole, and he's facing a lot of backlash for it. Vladimir Putin ever wanted to expand the Soviet Union, Russia to be the old Soviet Union from the line the Democrats have been saying. He understands he's already got 16 time zones. And if you take over a country, you now have to manage it. He doesn't
now
want
it's your
it.
problem.
Sorry,
Yeah,
go
but
ahead,
they used to
Kev.
manage. Yeah, I don't think that the disagreement is as sharp as you. I'm speaking more in the present. I think that, of course, listen, that's a buffer country between them and NATO, and it was also a part of them for over more than 80 plus years, but during the Soviet Union. I don't think that he was like hawkish on it. As a matter of fact, I think he did everything he could to avoid war, and I think that he's doing everything he can to avoid a nuclear war. And I think that he's kind of come to the conclusion that if the West is going to keep pumping arms and artificially propping up that regime, then okay, if you think you're going to end up with this, you're going to have to rebuild it. And because the same thing you were trying to do to us, which is bleed us out like you did in Afghanistan, then you got another thing coming. Because if the old if I can't have her, no one else will. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna make it very, very difficult for you to turn this into the EU will go broke trying to make this country whole again. But we are keeping that Eastern, because that's where all that natural gas is. That's what I meant. I think that Putin showed immense discretion and patience with all the shenanigans that have been going on since at least 2014. Yeah.
Well, he's got shenanigans right now taking place, and once again, I've said this before. I don't see how Russia can end this conflict without taking Kiev, because the government that's there is always going to be hostile. Those particular Nazis hate Russians more than they hate Jews. That's for sure. I mean, they are just fucking, they call them orcs and they won't stop. And things have changed now. War has changed. Now it's all about drone warfare, right? The drone, and this is something that Douglas McGregor talked about. The aircraft carrier days, they're long gone. Yeah, you can bomb a country back to the Stone Age, but it just nationalizes them. You can't take it. You have to have troops to get on the ground. It's just, it's a quagmire of sorts. I don't understand. I don't see how the United States, and I've heard this talk, Nico, I know you've heard this talk, so have you, Kev, that they're amassing forces to go and invade Iran. How?
Yeah,
it's not fucking possible.
It's not feasible.
I mean, it's just like, are you fucking nuts? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, all these things we're hearing, and I just don't understand how I can't see this war ending unless they go in there, like Don DeBar said, fucking you jump out of airplanes and you sail into the capital with the old president Yanukovych, who was illegally removed by the forced color revolution of the United States. By the way, Lindsey Graham was there hanging on out with McCain and Senator Murphy when they were on stage, when Victoria Nuland was handing out cookies on the Maidan. So any Democrat that ignores what really took place in Ukraine, Russia, is not holding imperialism accountable. So pretty much they are not anti-imperialist in the Democratic Party. None of them.
The liberals too.
None of them.
Well, neither is the Republican Party.
So somebody asked me the other day, Pasta. Let me I gotta interject, guys. Somebody said, I was having a conversation about Zelensky. Somebody said, well, as leftists, are we on Ukraine's side or are we not on Ukraine's side? I said, I cannot believe we're actually, what? Are you being sarcastic? No, I don't support Nazis, and I don't support a dictatorial government. I don't understand what is so difficult about it. And I don't support my money being spent there. What is difficult about that? And it's like, but Russia invaded. No, Russia reacted finally after being provoked to defend their own autonomy and their own sovereignty.
And this has been going on for a while in the Ukraine, right? Ever since World War II, the United States has been fucking around over there, poking and disturbing the bear. And at this particular time, they started killing Russian-speaking citizens. Nazis did, funded by the United States and NATO. So when you hear people, the whole Graham Plattner thing, right? Like the straw that broke the camel's back, Nick Cruz did a whole video on this, Nico, about him saying I defend Ukraine's right to sovereignty to not be invaded by Russia. That is the talking line. And here's the difference, Kevin. You said, well, the Republicans aren't. The Republicans don't claim to be anti-imperialist. They pick and choose their wars. The Democrats claim to be pro-peace, anti-imperialist, from AOC to Chucky Schumer, and they are not. They are not at all.
No,
and
well, not
their
anti-imperialist.
position on
They claim to
Russia-
be anti-war until they
Yes.
have to fight a just war. They pick one demagogue, right? They pick they pick a face, a villain,
Last time
and
I
they
checked,
use them.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, you're using their own words, which is right. But I mean, last I heard, our president, who's a the Republican president, was saying oh, we don't want war. It would have ended before I even took over. This is one of the reasons why the Iranians, when during this, what was that called, the memorandum of understanding or whatever it was called, it turns out that they were literally bringing teams of psychologists with them because Trump is so irrational and so I mean, he literally said within a 24-hour period, oh, they tried to kill me, but they're good people over there. And then he said they're scum within hours.
But
they can't.
To be fair, Kev,
the Iranians.
Kev, to be fair,
sorry,
the reason why I bring up the Democratic Party is because we all here were once in the Democratic Party. We supported the Democratic Party, whether it had been for Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie Sanders. We I don't know how Nico still identifies himself. I'm not going to speak for him, but I'll speak for myself. I identify as a leftist, as an anti-imperialist and whatnot. And it was the Democratic Party where we went, right? I supported Obama. So for me, I think holding our own side accountable, right? And I do believe the Democratic Party is just there to make sure that a real leftist party doesn't get into power. They're there to occupy that space. Absolutely. So that's why my beef is mostly over there. The Republicans are who they are. They did fool us a little this time. The Trump acted like an outsider like Obama. But right now we just see, and especially from the attitude, not just from Donald Trump and his administration, but the Republican voter. It's the same fucking bullshit from them. Do you think you deport people that do you think that immigration is one of our top 5 problems? You haven't woke the fuck up. I have this video I wanted to play today with Stephen A. Smith, which is just showing you the low-informed conservative, that's the majority conservative voter in the United States, the low-informed Democrat, which is the majority Democratic voter in the United States, and what we have to look forward to and what we have to push back against this time around, because now the Democrats are going to do their Houdini act and say, you can't vote for that, you got to vote for us. And a majority of people will say, we got to mitigate damage, Kev, and we have to vote. We have to shut our mouths, bite our tongue, and vote for Gavin Newsom in that hair. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm sitting that one out.
And I'm telling people not to do it.
I'm not entertaining that bullshit.
No, at all. At all. Kev.
My own personal opinion is of a little value, but I will tell you the only reason I'm registered as a Democrat is because I don't identify as a Democrat. The only reason I'm registered as a Democrat is because I live in New York City, and Democratic registration is like 5 or 6 to 1. So all the action in New York City, as far as the city council, the assembly, etc., to the mayorship, it's all in the primaries, and we have closed primaries here. So unless you're for years I was a Green, I was an independent, I was a Ralph Nader guy, so I don't identify as a Democrat, and it actually pains me to have to try and defend them sometimes, but it is, I'm very aware that the only reason people like Kucinich and Howard Dean, and they kept people around like that, and it was like a playbook, so that during the primaries, and even Bernie, so that, and then they never expected Bernie to get the traction he did, but once they did, they pulled the rug out, and those people are there specifically to corral the left, and just be like, hey, look, it's not going to be us this year, but this is the most important election you've ever faced. And, we have to all pull together behind the Democrats. Like it's the same old okey doke, man. It's the same old okey doke.
Yeah, we got to get on out of here. We got to get on out of here. Thank you for calling. It's been a crazy day. We've had gremlins in the studio, internet problems. I had drilling going on over here. I knocked on the door and asked them if they can stop for a little bit. And they're like, we got to finish this one part, but then we'll stop. They've been stopped for the last 10 minutes.
No.
But it's just, I can't wait to get out of here. This fucking place. Kev, I love you, brother. I'll see you tomorrow. Kevin, the professor. Nico, where can people find your lovely, beautiful face? You have the best thumbnail for the show because you have the good pictures. That thumbnail you had for your Larry Johnson show was pretty fucking tight, man.
I appreciate it, man.
You look like a distinguished gentleman, and you were looking sharp, my friend.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm saying, people out here, you never know when you get to see Nico in person. Look at the shoes. Nico wears the best fucking shoes. Go ahead, Nico.
You do.
Best shoes.
Fact.
I appreciate it, man. I try. I don't wear them as much out here in Rio because I don't go out like that anymore. But yeah, I still got them on deck though. I still keep a few with me. So if you do see me at a special event, just look down. You'll find me. You can find me on X at Real Nico House. Follow us on Hotspot as well at Hotspot. Follow me on YouTube. Just Google just YouTube Nico House, and on Instagram as well, of course, at Real Nico House.
Yeah, Nico, I'm going to share this video with you personally with Stephen A. Smith in this interview because he's trying to creep a little bit more and more into politics. He went on Bill Maher this season too.
I know. It's so fucking annoying because he thinks he can do politics how he does sports.
He's so fucking naive to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
but he speaks with so much authority. It's obnoxious as hell, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, and y'all just keep letting him talk?
Yeah.
Stop giving him a platform to talk about things he does not understand until he proves that he has some level of understanding. But I mean, our current president is in the WWE Hall of Fame. So,
again, by the way, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I didn't want you to get out of here, Nico. When are you and Nick Cruz going to stream again? Sorry for interrupting. I just didn't want you to leave.
No, actually, we were just talking about that. It'll probably be for at least another couple of weeks. I'm going on vacation next week, y'all. I need it. Family's going on vacation. Yeah, it's a place it's a Hotel Fazenda. Basically, they have these remote places out in Rio where it's like all inclusive. They have like a bunch of stuff for kids. Adults got like bars, like the little party scene, and then the kids just stay and play with animals, play with each other, swim all day, and adults go do adult things. Yeah, so that's what we're doing.
That is awesome. You deserve it. You need it. I got a crazy move and then a trip to Peru. So I'm gonna have a crazy 2 weeks myself. So
cool. I'm glad to hear you're going, man. You going for the election?
The election already happened.
Oh no, you're going for the other thing.
Yeah, the other thing.
Yeah,
I was hoping you showed up. I was hoping you showed up.
Yeah, I was gonna go, man, but basically we don't have anybody to leave my daughter with.
No, you got a daddy stuff to take care of nowadays. So they're at the young age, so we understand that.
But I just wish I could go because I never thought I'd see the date.
Well, we should come to you for that election this year. So we should arrange to go to Brazil.
Y'all should definitely come for that because it's
last time we did
crazy.
Sao Paulo. This time we should do Rio. So let's arrange that. Let's figure that out. You got to figure out where all the local. I forgot are they an OAN or OAS or I forgot what they're called, but their election offices are. There'll be plenty in Rio because they're open to journalists coming in and asking questions, whatnot, and understanding the whole system. And that's really important because they can also then lead you the way to get credentials. Last time we did get credentials through Lula's party, but this time we like to get them completely independent of any party if possible. So let's just talk about that.
Now you got a translator, dog.
Yeah, we do. Obrigado. Take me for some feijoada. I love you.
Feijoada.
Sorry.
Feijoada.
You know who was with us the first time I had the feijoada?
When?
Danny Shaw. We split it. We split one. I'm like, really? Yeah, he was in Brazil with us.
Danny Shaw?
Danny Shaw. Danny Shaw can speak
bro.
Rio.
Dog, Danny is so impressive.
Portuguese, Spanish. English and Brooklyn.
Yeah, dog. When he started speaking Portuguese, I was like, hold up. Is this a joke?
That guy's amazing. That guy's amazing.
Dude's crazy, dog. He's impressive. So
all right, Bub.
It's a silly. Who said Portuguese is a silly language? That's crazy.
I'm not in that. I'm not in the live chat. I was on my stairs.
Bruh, somebody said Portuguese is a silly language. It's silly till you try to learn it, and then you can't understand shit. Hey, look, there's a reason we got the most tourists ever coming to Brazil now. It ain't that silly. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look.
I think it's more about the Brazilian women and their legs than anything else.
Listen, eu posso te falar duas coisinhas,
they're dancing, man. Forget about it.
Listen, it's called rebolando.
And
rebolando. There you go. That's a new word for you.
You have an amazing day. We'll see you next Tuesday on the show. Oh, you won't be here. You're on vacation next Tuesday?
Yeah, I'll be on vacation next Tuesday, but the following, I'm back.
Gotcha. So next week,
For
Nico
sure.
House won't be here. Tell Nick he's got to fill in for you on the show. Right? We didn't hear that. By the way, somebody put up earlier today in the show Orion Spectrum, and this is kind of crazy because somebody's texting me right now. They've been covering important stories for over a decade. It's just kind of weird when people just don't even know that I have a show and existence out there. I know I was sick last year. I didn't do as much as I normally do. But the fact that people are like, oh my God, you have a show? I didn't even know, whatnot, and stuff. Like the suppression on YouTube and on all these channels and stuff. And then my Twitter was jacked. And I'm wondering if it was jacked because I had a good source in Iran. I was constantly talking about Iran. So who knows? Pasta, I hope your new place doesn't have an HOA that will make your life hell. There is an HOA, but it's a smaller HOA. This is a board over here, which is like an HOA. And they're fucking nuts. They're fighting with each other here. It's like politics going on. But that over there they're supposedly more hands off, and they're supposed to be there to take care of all the landscaping and all that other stuff. Supposedly they're not overbearing, so we'll see how that works out. Let's do the final monologue. Sleepy?
Let's see if I can get this done without it crapping out. All right, say something.
All right, as we wrap
We're
up today's show, let's take a moment to reflect on the importance of diversity of thought and the peace we can cultivate with our neighbors. In a world that often feels divided, it's our differences that can actually bring us together. Every unique perspective, every story shared enriches our collective experience and fosters understanding. Remember, it's okay to disagree. It's how we handle those disagreements that truly matter. Let's embrace dialogue over debate, compassion over conflict. When we listen to one another, we open the door to meaningful relationships. By engaging with our diverse communities, we can find common ground and build bridges that promote peace. So I encourage you, reach out to someone with a different viewpoint, share a meal, have a conversation, or simply listen. Let's create a ripple effect of kindness and understanding in our neighborhoods and beyond. Thank you for tuning in today. Remember, we can celebrate our diversity and pave the way for a brighter, more peaceful future. So until next time, keep the dialogue flowing and the peace growing. For all the callers today, we love you. Thank you so much to Sleepy J, Nico House, Gabrielle Freedom, and all the beautiful people out there. Fred Edward, thank you so much for holding down the chats. Blue Wrenches, all of you guys are great. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.